Yeah, Annabelle is going to one finger tier. I can literally break her apart without that much power. She is a fucking doll, ain't she?
What?
Come on, Trump, you can't just start the list without introducing us to this. What the hell, man?
Oh, right, I almost forgot about it. LMAO. Yeah, so yesterday, Barry sent the link to this tier list to our group chat, and after looking at it, we agreed that this list needs to be done by the most agile, flexible, fastest, and the strongest man of our trio. That would be the best fighter, so that's why I am doing this list. In this list, you don't have typical tiers, but rather the difficulty I would have fighting these horror villains. On the bottom, I will place little fucks like Annabelle that I will just curb stomp like Seth Rollins, and that would be raps. On the top are the gods of food chain, the things that even Adonis like me couldn't fight off because they're just unstoppable, and even though I am almost invincible, there are even some limitations to me. I am still a human after all, and it's Halloween time, so of course we will rank horror villains.
If those are the scariest, very spooky villains, then where the hell is Corn Pop?
Who the hell is Corn Pop?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap.
Joe, why are you always doing that? You start talking about something, but then you don't even care if the story is finished or if you even introduced everyone to it, and you just ramble off into a whole another thing and you forget what you were talking about. Why do you do this? Just stay on the topic, man.
And we still have no clue about who the hell is this whole popcorn dude you were talking about. He sounds like some fake news to me, and I don't even want to know because it's probably just one of the voices inside that rotten brain of yours. And the second opponent on the list is Ghostface, and I'm going to put him in the one finger tier, and now hear me out, because I'm going to explain this to you. Sure, he might have a kitchen knife and be stalking you and have your phone number for some weird-ass reason, but he always calls first, right? So I'm just going to press decline with one finger, and that's how you defeat him. If he got in anyway, that would be a bit harder, but he's just a regular dude, and he's not as buff as me, and he doesn't have any range, so I could just shoot him with my AR or break his arm and just choke him out with my leg lock. And another thing, that mask of his gives him smaller POV, and that cloak of his is the stupidest part of it all. If you get killed by a regular guy while having all these advantages over him, it's really on you because you would die by slipping on a banana peel anyway. So he's going to the one finger tier again.
That argument is mostly fair, but if you want me to believe that you would be able to choke someone out with a leg lock without passing out or having a heart attack first, you will need to pass me some good kush before, because that ain't happening, bud.
Well, then I can show you, but I'm not about to catch more cases. So firstly, sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
Oh my gosh, you talking about Logan Paul? That's my idol, man. I want to be just like him, and I wish to collab with him and have my own lunchly box that will feature chocolate chip as the main dish and will be called the Bowie Dean Special. Sorry guys, my dentures fell out for a moment. I wanted to say Boja and Special.
Joe, you need to definitely grow up and research some stuff about Logan Paul and the lunchly stuff. They are trying to market this junk as healthier and tastier alternative to Lunchables for all the lazy parents out there that don't give a shit about their kids enough to wake up 10 minutes earlier to prepare them a lunch before sending the kids to school. It's too low in calories to satiate physically active kids for those 6 or 8 hours before they go back home to eat dinner. And even if it had those calories, it would still be terrible because it has terrible processed ingredients that are about as healthy as snacking on a radioactive brick. And don't even get me started on the taste thing, because there is no way that kids out there would actually prefer to drink Prime and eat Feastables compared to drinking Capri Sun and some actually good tasting candy and Lunchables. Stores are probably also selling it at twice the price of Lunchables, so I just hope Dan TDM roasted them enough to just cancel all this junk from the store shelves before the October ends, because the Lunchly Trio are basically shortening the lifespan of their audience by feeding them this shitbox. Mr. Beast is specifically not kid-friendly, and KSI is also killing the ears of millions by releasing the thick of it. And that's a shame, because I actually liked some of his songs back in the day. I was even listening to Lighter not so long ago in my car. Sorry for my rant, but I needed to get this out of my system. Michelle was even visibly fuming out of her mouth when I was telling her about this whole Lunchly fiasco.
Just let them chase the bag, Baldy. It's not like throwing their stuff out of stores will stop kids in our country from turning into big chungus after turning 5. Every good businessman will only praise them for finding a good category that they can get rich on. However, I still don't know why they decided to sponsor those soccer clubs in Spain and Germany. As far as I'm aware, the Prime is quite popular in USA and a holy drink for all the Brits. I'm not accusing anybody, so please don't sue me. Logan, it's all jokes and funnies. So hypothetically, I am smelling a money laundering scheme here, but that's just a hypothetical. So I am not accountable because it's all jokes and shits.
It's all smiles and shits until somebody shits and smiles. A guy shits in his pants and smiles, and you think that of me. No, Skylar, I am the one who shits.
Go figure, the guy shitting in his pants is Joe Biden. Next up is Johnny from The Shining. And I'm going to give him some respect because he isn't some lanky dude and he's got some power to his swing. So if we're talking about hand-to-hand combat, I would put him in a fair fight. But if we're talking about the scenario where he tries to break into my house with his sorry-ass axe, then I'm just going to need to get up from my bed and grab the nearest rifle from my rack in the bedroom. But I'm not going to give myself that much of advantage. Because if I'm going to have a minute to jump in my Trump cave, then there would be really no competition from anyone. I'm just going to rank them as if I were in the movies. So it's going to be a fair fight between me and him.
Stop spending so much time with Biden because I think his dementia is rubbing off on you. You aren't Batman-level superhero. Your Halloween costume is actually very accurate because you're more of a villain than anything. And, yep, you're not defeating Johnny Buddy. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but you aren't much younger than Joe. And again, you are morbidly obese, so you really overrate yourself. But I can let fair fight slip past. I warn you from the get-go that I'm not going to let you put Predator or Jason into anything below getting railed tier.
Fine. I'm just going to nerf my abilities and put myself in the movie scenarios just so you won't be crying through the rest of the episode. Next up is Freddy Krueger, and I know you might think to yourself that he is scary and dangerous because he is a literal serial murderer, but if you just woke someone up by poking them with your finger, then he's not a threat at all. That's why I'm putting him in the bottom tier. However, Alien is a different story because he isn't a nightmare fairy tale burr, rather an actual threat, and I'm not even going to front as long as I don't have flamethrower from Elon. I'm cooked when confronting this terrifying creature. I'm going to put it in, it's going to be hard tier because I can drive away from him and just ask Elon for a drone delivery and then I'd cook his ass, so it's not impossible to defeat him. Any funny remarks? Barack?
I just admire your creativity. You always find a delusional way to make yourself win in every scenario, but you proved how your plan would work and it could be done. So I'm not going to disagree. It's just really pushing it.
I don't know, this whole alien guy seems pretty fun. I bet he likes ice cream too.
He would rip your face off before you could even lick the ice cream, Joe. But seeing how the next one is just a regular human without any superpowers, I'd say it's a fair fight between two people, but it's really not because Patrick Bateman is a guy you would least expect to be a killer because he knows how to present himself as a legit businessman. I think going to be hard is a good pick because, again, he would catch you off guard. And he's also fast, strong, and tall, so even if you could somehow see him trying to attack you and try to take away his weapon, you would very much struggle, and you'd need to be really strong or trained in martial arts to take him down. So, gonna be hard is a nice tier for him. But I bet Donald has different view on the matter.
Yes, I bet for you it would be near impossible, but unlike you, the Great Don is not a pussy and could take on any UFC fighter one-on-one, and if I get a good chokehold on them, they're done for. But I agree that he has the element of surprise to him, and he is prepared for the occasion better than you. That's something surprisingly close to his biggest role, Batman. So it could go either way. Fair fight it is. Next up is a Chucky doll, and again, don't make me laugh because I'm just gonna frog splash this little toy if he ever tries to talk shit on my name.
No, Chucky is probably the scariest villain on this whole list. I can't even look at his face without getting goosebumps. If I ever saw Chucky coming at me with a kitchen knife, I think I would just get a heart attack and collapse before he could get me, just so I won't feel the pain he would get me through. Is Satan personified?
You could get it any minute now, so it's nothing crazy to say, but we are way past the 8-minute mark, so we need to quickly breeze past the rest to get this video posted and get that sweet ad rev. I'm currently saving money to buy me a new construction site for the Trump Tower in Dubai as my Christmas gift. Michael Myers is actually the first one in the top tier because I don't even have a plan right now how to defeat him. I just don't.
I don't agree that we should hurry up the video, but to be honest, the rest of the list is pretty much unbeatable, apart from Samara from The Ring and Hannibal Lecter, because I stand by my point that Literally every single human villain can be beaten. Some will be tougher than others, and Hannibal is definitely one of the toughest. So yeah, I would just put Samara in the bottom because you literally have to just simply not watch the tape, and Hannibal in hard tier and the rest in the top tier, but it's all up to your interpretation in the end, Don.
I'm also one of the toughest bastards around town, so I'm going to put Hannibal in the fair fight tier, but you're actually surprisingly correct in the rest of the statement. I'm just going to assemble it exactly the way you said, aside from Hannibal, and it's the entire list. Anything you'd like to add, Joey?
I just don't know why the hell is KSI on this list, because he is not a villain but a hero to me. I love his fresh song, The Thick of It. I listen to it daily.
You're a lost cause, Joe.
Subscribe to Oval Office Gaming right now, or Barack will go get your oil with his drones.